Good day, awesome YouTubers. It is Lollyman16 here for another Dragon Ball discussion video. And I usually don't do this. I don't usually post more than one video on a Sunday. But this one is a pretty important one. And I have to actually talk about this. And we're going to know more about this topic once we get on the road here with this Tournament of Power. The thing I'm referring to is in episode 80, right? We have the Daishinkan. And pretty much a revelation that universes 12, 8, 5, and there's one other. Oh, Universe 1 will not be participating, or at least they're exempt from the Tournament of Power because their quality of their mortals, their mortal level in their universes are over a 7 in terms of Zen-Oh's, the Omni King's, basically his whole scale, right? So there has been a lot and a lot of misconception in the community as of today and last night and whatnot. And I wanted to direct your attention over to Herms's Twitter. And first of all, thank you Herms for these translations and clearing things up for us. It's still kind of blurry what Zen-Oh and the Daishinkan, the Great Priest, mean by immortal level. Herms on his Twitter, he states, or he kind of speculates, I guess, that basically nowhere in the discussion, nowhere in the talk, did the Grand Priest ever mention anything about strength. Um, looking back to the Gohan versus Lavenda fight, I mean, that wasn't necessarily a strength thing, if you want to put it. This is really interesting because people think that Universe 7 and Universe 9 are the weakest contenders, and that may be still very true, right? That may be very true, but it could be another thing. And the other thing is, and I know some of you have pointed this out already. The other thing that he could be referring to in terms of mortal, the quality of mortals is their attitudes, right? And Zamasu was talking about this in the Goku Black arc. How humans are, uh, a bad species of, just pure destruction, and they have a lot of things to improve with the Ningen, the human race. Uh, so when I'm talking about the attitudes of mortals, I'm talking about how they, how they interact with other species, how they've done as a civilization total, and all that kind of thing. And because, yeah, and also, well, okay, I'll talk about the strength thing later, but the attitude thing, it's more of, you know, their personality of the universe in total. So we have guys like Frieza, and we have guys like Majin Buu, who is at the time controlled by Babidi or Bibidi, whichever one you want to refer, you know, either one. I mean, either one would be fine. Bibidi or Babidi. They both controlled Buu for a while there, and Frieza, he was an evil dictator. I mean, he slaughtered millions. He sold planets. He bargained out planets. I mean, that's his whole thing. You can read tons of interviews on how Toriyama created the character of Frieza, and he didn't like the fact of the whole you know merchants and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to go into that right now. The bottom line is Frieza is an evil dictator, and the Majin Buu was just pure evil, and that's the whole point, is that Universe 7 has a lot of evil people in it. Piccolo was evil at one point, Vegeta was evil, and Beerus didn't do crap to increase the mortal quality, or the, I guess, he didn't increase, um how should I put this? Beerus did not step in there, and he didn't make mortals better, quote unquote. Or, I guess, the Supreme Kaioshin of Universe 7, he didn't do much of that either. And, you know, again, it could be that, or it could be this other thing. And the other thing is strength. Now, this is the one that people have been speculating about. Is that it's all about strength, and they think that Universe 7 and Universe 9 could be the weakest guys. And some people were pointing out, I read some comments on Twitter and other media sources, and I've seen people say things like, wait a minute, that does not make any sense because last time I checked, Universe 6 versus Universe 7, that tournament, the Champa arc, Universe 7 whipped them pretty hard until the end. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about average, everyone as an average. Like, I'm talking about not just Vegeta and Goku. We have guys like Monaka, Piccolo, well, maybe not Piccolo, but Kuririn, Muten Roshi, Ten Shinhan, numbers 18 and 17. Well, I mean, maybe not them, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys get the whole picture. It's the average of all the fighters in that universe. And so, because the trio of Dangers was the strongest warriors, presumably in Universe 9, everyone else should be way weaker than them. And that's why they were ranked so low. They were given a rank of like 1.86, and Universe 7 was given a rank of, I think, 3.18, if I'm correct. Now, again, uh, I mean, it could be strength and it could be attitude. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this. Again, we don't necessarily know exactly if it's strength because let me tell you guys something. Herms on Twitter and the official Crunchyroll, Anime Lab, Daisuke, all those the official and the legal Dragon Ball Super sources. Basically, the translations were along the lines of uh, the quality of mortals and the mortal level rank, which doesn't necessarily mean strength. All right, it could very well be strength, and I could just be completely lying to you guys. I could be completely wrong. It could be strength. Um, but yeah, but if it was strength, that's why I think that Universe 7 is ranked so low. Is because we don't have that many fighters that are like god tier. The only characters who are like god tier are pretty much Goku and Vegeta, and maybe Gohan if he unlocks like full power and whatever. But basically, everyone else is much weaker than Goku and Vegeta. And that's why they're ranked so low. And the same goes for Universe 9. So what about Universe 6? Well, we haven't seen everyone of Universe 6. We've only seen, the guys who Champa selected, who may not necessarily be the strongest fighters. Now, mind you, this is if this whole thing is about strength. Again, it could be attitude, but going back to Universe 6, we have Hit, we have Frost, we have Kaba. I mean, the Saiyans of Universe 6, we have Frieza's Race, Hit, I mean, Legendary Assassin, and then everyone, Botamo Magetta, and everyone else. So, and they're obviously presumably much stronger than the average human, um, and you can even see that like at least most of the guys can keep up with the Saiyans and the Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta, and the Namekian Piccolo. So obviously their races have to be as an average higher than Universe 7. Excuse me. That's what I think. And plus, we have not seen all the other fighters of Universe 6 that will participate in the Tournament of Power. That's what I want to get across. Now, going back to, there's one more other thing that I gotta cover. Going back to attitudes, right? If this mortal level thing is about attitudes, okay, so we're looking at Universe 6. So we have guys like the Saiyans in Universe 6. Now, the Saiyans in Universe 6 are very interesting because they are a warrior race, but they're not a brutal warrior race. They protect. And same goes for Universe 11 with the Pride Troopers thing, but that's too much speculation. Universe 6, it's confirmed, Kaba says in the Champa arc that they are a good race. So that can, even if like we have like bad people like Frost in Universe 6, the entire race of Saiyans being good and strong both, I think that more than makes up for the difference there. So that's what I think about why Universe 6 is better both in attitudes, beliefs, and strength. Again, I'll say it one more time, guys. We're not exactly sure what he means by mortal level. Now, one more interesting thing that Herms pointed out on Twitter is he says something along the lines of, you know, it doesn't really make any sense that how Gohan and Lavenda are identified as lowest, part of the lowest mortal level, because that doesn't make sense if it's just strength, because they're obviously really strong. And Zeno himself comments in the actual freaking episode that the Super Saiyan Gohan is strong, and you know it's obviously pretty and shiny, but it's strong at the same time. So let me know your thoughts about that. But that's, I just picked that up from Twitter. But anyway, that's kind of my discussion for today. So overall, I think that my prediction for this is I think it's not just strength. I think it's both strength and attitudes and beliefs and personalities. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's just going to be strength. However, it could be. But based on what he says, like the quality of mortals, I think that's what it was. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole thing, and let me know what you think about how this is going to play out. Do you think that the other universes are going to participate, and do you think that after this tournament arc, Universe 7 and maybe potentially Universe 9 will get a higher mortal rating? That's all what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay awesome, everybody, and have a good one.